Hello YouTube land. This is a story from my childhood which I'm going to recount for you now. The story starts with a girl called Ellen, who after shooting a man called John Vaughan in the heart with an arrow, became well known as Ellen the Terrible. And quite surprisingly, soon after this she married the cousin of the man she had murdered, and he was widely known as Black Vaughan for his dark demeanour, or his dark hair, which is more likely because his brother was well known as Red Vaughan because of his red hair. The two of them, Lady Vaughan and Black Vaughan, lived in Hargest Court, which is a massive house in Kington in Herefordshire. And this house has huge grounds, and the two of them were very well off, and all of the peasants around them were very downtrodden. So, when Black Vaughan was killed by some Lancastrians in the War of the Roses, no one really mourned him or worried much about his death, until a huge black dog with massive round eyes that glowed red began appearing to the local villagers. Soon livestock began to be killed in a way that wasn't even animalistic. It was like a warning. It was brutal and murderous, and these animals began being killed, and soon after people began disappearing. And it wasn't long until the villagers began to worry, first of all hiring a knight, though they couldn't afford a real knight, so they hired a watchman who wasn't up to the job, and was soon murdered upon Hargest Ridge, where he had been searching out the massive black dog. The vicar himself was extremely worried because he'd profited quite well out of Black Vaughan's death and was worried that he could not alone take on this huge malevolent spirit. And so word was sent to the bishop, who assembled 12 parsons to stand in a circle in Hargest Court to perform an exorcism. Firstly, they began to pray that this spirit would show itself in front of them, and sure enough it did, each of them holding a candle staring into the middle of the circle where this massive black dog appeared before them, looking more and more angry by the second. The first and the oldest of the vicars stepped forward, saying to the dog, "Black Vaughan, why so fierce?" The dog spoke back, "Fierce I was a man, fiercer I am now a devil." All of them carried on. They prayed and they chanted, and it was no good. All of the candles, one by one, were being extinguished, but yet they carried on, praying and chanting and carrying on until at last the spirit was contained within a snuff box, crying out as it left, "Bury me anywhere but not beneath water." Sure enough, they buried him beneath water in the moat of Hargest Court, and soon, about 100 years later, it was found by an unsuspecting diver. Up until then, the Kington's Hargest Ridge had been quiet. No murders had taken place. The dog had not been sighted. But now, to this day, it is said that before a death in the Vaughan family takes place, a huge dog can be seen in the grounds of Hargest Court, howling to the moon as a warning. Kieran, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.